Perfect. Perfect
Hello!
time.
Crappy timing.
Perfect timing. Yeah, we did it. All right.
We
Watch
made
it.
it.
It's about to. All right. So here we are. We're back into this thing. I'll go into thanking folks and doing that stuff because as we were wrestling with dogs and Zoom and stuff like that. But yep. I think last week we unless Skylar, you got something to top it?
No, I just wanted to say we had a good month in January. 31 followers, and we're up to 243 right now. So, well on our way to.
Twitch followers are harder to harvest than, you know what I mean? Like if I was just to put a meme out there and 500 people like a fart joke.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to watch to see the number of followers that like Critical Role has on Twitch, and it's like 1.5 million or something like that, which is a ton. But you'd think with the number of people that actually watch them, that it would be a lot higher, and it's oddly small. Considering their YouTube subscribership.
I went in there one time to see if I could be like, "Hey, what's up?" And the stream chat is like a lightning bolt. Like you can't see anything, and you're only allowed to write one or two things in it. You know, I want to be like, I don't know, just troll Keyleth. Just like, all right. Okay. So let's see. Last week, previously in CSI Waterdeep, we started out at Uldrak's grave, and you guys were the so Connor's party, Epione, Valanthe, Henry, and who am I missing? And Swords and Dragonoff right to my right. And Dragonoff.
It's okay.
You guys you guys are on this quest to find a way to release this Dao that can get you an introduction to Bel, which is the previous arch devil of Avernus. She thinks that this guy will be able to help you get your way to the Bleeding Citadel. In order to do that, you guys quest line, side quests, quest line, and you need to get Empyrean blood from this spine devil that lived inside Uldrak's grave. There was this helm in there, and he was kind of making his own home, and you guys convinced him to come with you. He's like, well, I'm a fiend now. I can't, in my true self, I need to spill Tiamat's blood, which is super confusing. So you guys were like, he taught you how to get to Arkhan's tower, and he's like, this guy named Arkhan, the Cruel, he has a reliquary of Tiamat's blood around his neck that empowers him or whatever. So you guys are going to go there and try to negotiate with them. The spine devil goes like, here, even to gain access to Arkhan's tower, here's this dragon orb. You could use this maybe to barter or something like that. And then you guys convince him to come with you anyways. You guys drove north through a pouring rain of blood, and you eventually made it across the pit of Shumath to an obelisk where you saw the remnants of a battlefield. Well, what you guys saw, as I retcon this, is about 8 standing stones and what looks like a missing obelisk. For whatever reason, it departed the realm, but you get the idea that something was there with your checks. A pit fiend arrived on the scene. And what I would say that your party is kind of gathering there through your passive perception is you guys arrived where you think that Kygon and Zesis were, because you saw where a paladin's boots were running around, like in full plate, and you saw the footprints of the Echo and Kygon flying around in some sort of battle, and then there was car tracks flying everywhere, and 2 car tracks head due south. You think you may have passed something in the raining blood, but you're not sure. But you can't really see where anybody was at. You didn't see Manu's footprints or anything, so in your mind you think that Kygon and Zesis are rolling around the battlefield. Manu might be dead or whatever, and you stayed on your path. You killed a pit fiend, congratulations. You went from there and you moved north to the River of Styx to where you can see Arkhan's tower, and you're going to cross the River Styx in a shallow crossing where your war machine can cross it without getting ichor all over your feet and stuff like that. Party number barbarians. You guys went to the Mirror Mustafar, where you got to. This is my favorite. You got to ask like one question, and of course, you guys are like, why? And the mirror in the Cambion on the other side, like slaps his head and he's like, okay, well, good luck. And he gives you a boon of +1 to your intelligence, hoping maybe that'll help on your next steps. So you guys leave there. You go to where the obelisk is and you free the Balgura, and he tells you, go to the Hellrider's Crypt. Use this passphrase. Not going to use passphrase again. And then you guys got in your Mad Max fight. You hopped back into Reichwave, took a little damage, and you rode south through the pouring blood rain. Does anybody have any questions about what happened previously on CSI Avernus?
Yeah, what was that passphrase again? I'm kidding. Friendship and loathing.
And cooperation. It's fun.
I thought it was by the
damage, didn't you?
I thought it was by the DM wine.
Not this week. I'm all full up. Full up on wine. So I'll say both parties got a short rest at a minimum. We talked about this with Manu offline. He wanted to do some mending on a ship. If you wanted to do a short rest and mend and drive the ship at the same time, I'll give you one mending. So that's why the ship's not like 100%. But so for Manu and Kaigon and Mirren, you guys are in the Reichwave. It's kind of cool because you're traveling through a pouring down rain storm, so it adds some moisture, I guess, some wetness to the ship as it's, you can see the kobolds bailing out, blood out of the ship. You guys work your way the south for about, what you could take up to 2 short rests, I suppose, if you wanted to really power yourself up, because it's 2.5, 4 hours to get down there. In Avernus math, I don't really want to get stuck on how long things take. You're moving down. You can't really see anything, but forgot who's guiding you.
It's Crickendall.
Yep. So he knows to go south. You see various monoliths off to your left. He says, keep the lake of blood, off to your, there's no north, south, east, west here because the suns are gone. So he's like, keep it off to your left. When you see these bone brambles, when you run into the bone brambles, keep those off to your right. You'll hit a lake of fire. Keep the lake of fire off to your right. And then if you keep traveling past the lake of fire, you'll see these massive sarcophagi? I think so.
Sarcophaguses.
Yeah, mooseses. You'll see 2 giant mooseses leaned up against each other. They're about like 100 feet tall or something. I'm sure there's something I have to read that'll negate what I just said, but you eventually the rain begins to start dissipating a little bit as you feel wind coming from where's the map, from your east. It begins to clear through, and I'll kind of kick this off for you guys. As you guys in the ship moves forward, you see acrid smoke swirl around a barren hill, rising from which, like giant tombstones, are a pair of leaning monoliths, each soaring more than 50 feet into the smoky red sky. I knew it! You got me again! Dozens of armored knights kneel in motionless reverence before the monoliths, between which a set of onyx step leads down under the hill. So, ship kind of pulls up. Kobolds are running around. Fedge, I think, is downstairs trying his best to make sense of the runes. He's a kobold, so might want to get like someone with a higher intelligence or whatever to figure that out. But he's doing his best. It's going to take some time.
We're all pretty low intelligence.
Very not smart.
In fact,
Kobold probably has the highest level of intelligence.
He's doing his darndest. So the ship, slowly drifts X amount of feet, whatever you decide, Navigator, Manu, to these giant monoliths that clearly got a step. And Crickendalt, you are holding the helm in your hand or whatever, and you hear this: Zariel's fallen companions cannot rest. Nobody can in this nightmare hellscape. Which concludes you like, hey, there we are.
No long rest for us.
Yeah. Says it right there.
It's in the book.
So
there you go.
Yeah, I'll park the ship there, and I'll look at Crickendalt and say, and tell him, go tell Fedge we're heading. We'll be off.
Kluthkin's mending his wounds, and he's like, I'll guard the ship. He's like, I'll go park it, somewhere over here where it's not too close or something like that, but I'll be within earshot.
Gotcha. And then then we'll fast rope down the side.
Let Kluthkin have your ship. You just met him 4 hours ago. For some reason, you really trust this guy because he's got a character sheet.
Really, we're just leaving him on the ship. It's like, okay, we'll leave you on the ship.
Kluthkin must be a nice guy.
Mirren, Kygon, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
All right.
So I haven't
Precious.
Nicholas yet. So telepathically, because we can speak telepathically, I just figured that out.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Mirren.
Stay about 15 feet back. I'll let you know if I need to do something, but I'll name you later because I don't need a good name. Billy's not good enough. I'll call you Billy for now. We're good. Stay back.
He's like, you named me Billy. He just kind of bounces back there. He's like, word.
Let's go.
Of course, my echoes follow along with us as well.
The echo's in the middle of the map. I kind of placed him down. Yeah, just for whenever. Yeah. I'm going to have to get up and move around as I turn various lights on. Because my batteries are going dead. They're like those little disc batteries. They're about like this big. Gotcha.
So I'm gonna go ahead and summon Uza as my from the ether, and
okay.
big tank energy fast rope down the side.
Oh, nice. You land. Where dust would come up, it's a little bit like wet desert sand or whatever. So yeah, like as you sit down, like a little bit of like bloody muck are on your feet as you hit the deck.
And I'm gonna ask Mirren to go ahead and take point, since we know this is Paladin land, and he's the closest Paladin. Well, the Hellriders are Paladins, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So big Paladin energy ish.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and oblige. I'll step forward. I'm going to, presuming that nobody here is friendly to us, I'm going to go ahead and cast Shields of Faith onto myself.
We'll just pretend it's there. Oh, Shields of Faith? Not Spirit Guardians. Okay. This Spirit Guardians is a pretty aggressive mini to put on the map.
You just add that 2 AC.
Okay.
Stuff.
Dials dungeon up.
And we get that +5 just by being around you, right?
Within 10 feet. So, yeah, I'll give everybody the speech. Look, you want an advantage, you want your +5? They're about 10 feet away.
Also for you guys, as soon as my aura is up, stay within 10 feet of me, and you'll have fire resistance.
Sounds like a great place for a fireball. We're all huddled together.
But you get plus five, you're saying
down. Yeah. Yeah. There's caution signs like don't stand too close to each other and stuff like that. But yeah. So walking down the stairs, you see but like I said, it looks like two. There's no I actually write things down for a reason. Let's read my notes. The door has no visible handles, locks, or bolts. It's just like two slabs, and it's got what it looks like a horse like emblem on the front of it, and with like a sun kind of in the background. Whatever the Hellrider thing looks like, and you're familiar with it with your passive perception because you saw it everywhere in El Terrell. Yeah, and you're like, I think this crypt was supposed to be in El Terrell, but whatever.
What did that guy tell us to say?
For glory.
What's it for?
Oh, boom, boom. As the door opens, and you hear like it's not a sigh from the DM as the door opens. It's like, yay. What's that door for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
A sigh of indifference.
This one's like it's really excited. You're like, thank you. The door opens and a very stale kind of smell hits your nose as if this crypt has been sealed for millennia. And you get the smell of like not necessarily like embalming fluids, but like I don't know if like an old used hospital or something that's like been long abandoned, but it's just got kind of this wafty acrid smell. I keep using acrid, but like I'm sure it's written down over here somewhere. I'm not gonna read it.
And I'm guessing it's dark. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Anybody need a torch?
There's no light. It's about 10 feet up. The initial passage, as you guys can see in this map, so the map is the map. So there's something that's from the Senate Avernus. It looks like that. That's what it really looks like. So as you look down, you can see that it's stone hallways that's initially about 10 feet wide, and then you can see it goes completely dark against a wall that's probably left-right intersection. You can pull those left-right intersection-y things if you want to, and you don't see any light there.
Oh, you've got the sun sword, so.
Oh, true.
I was gonna say I can flick on a torch if we need to, but you've got the sun sword.
Well, the sun blade had the ability to create light. The sun sword.
Oh, that's what it is. I just made that up because I didn't. It's a basalt door block. A pair of basalt doors block the passage ahead. Their surfaces were engraved with the relief of a knight locked in combat with a devil. Both wield burning swords. That's what the front thing said.
It does say it gains the property of the sunblade. So yeah, I'll go ahead and. I'm not going to wield that one. So I'm not a dual wielder. I haven't figured out how to do that effectively yet. So I will hold the sun sword in my left. Go ahead and dial it up real quick, and then I will keep at the ready.
It's just disadvantage if you fight with twosies, right?
Never said. I gotta have a shield.
Well, okay.
All day.
Gotcha.
So I'll do a quick swap if we have to get into combat, but I'll just be holding it up for now.
Okay.
So, see what we can see. So as we walk through the entryway, which way are we thinking?
I'm just gonna do a quick perception check to. I mean, we could roll for it.
Yes, indeed. I mean, my perception is nil, so we got this bright light in my face, but. Not assist.
It's so bright. You know what I mean? Like you got the sun sword. You haven't used it in a while, and you're like, it's the sun. don't look directly into the sun sword.
I can use my echo and just send it down a path and see what's down there.
That works. I can also true sight 120 feet. So.
Yeah, you can't really see through walls and stuff, right?
Actually,
unless you want to cast some of that X-ray.
Actually, that doesn't cost anything.
No.
No, because it's not a spell. I could just X-ray. And actually, I have the X-ray. The ring, the X-ray ring. But
He's
I
got
don't.
so much X-ray.
I'm
it's
not.
Manu puts the MRI over here. Just.
Well, yeah. So I'm wearing a robe of eyes. I'm not attuned to it, but there's just all these eyes looking all over the place, and I have a ring of X-ray vision, which is an eyeball.
Okay.
I look ridiculous, is what I do.
Yes. Keep walking. Just walk left.
Yeah, to the left or to the right?
Right's always right.
Okay. So you're going left?
One left.
Going left.
Going left.
No, we'll just assume he's behind you. He's big.
He's there.
Yeah. Okay, so you go left, and as I mentioned, you see a pretty dark hallway. You're using what now? You're using your true sight, which I don't know if that's not NVGs. That's just you can tell if someone's invisible or not. But you're looking forward. You can see as you hold out your sun sword, you can see the light drift down the hallway as it, goes around the corners and opens up into a dark room that's in front of you. Yep, go ahead. That doesn't look to be lit or anything like that from where you guys are at.
Let's proceed. I will walk, not cautiously, but just walking into the room.
So okay, so with true sight, I can see in normal and magical darkness. So that's
It sounds tough.
Keep traveling with you guys. It's fun. Okay, so you popped in there.
Yep, I've entered the, room from the, I'll say east just because I found
it. Yep, it looks dark. It appears. So as you walk into the room, it looks, square-shaped room. As I mentioned, 10-foot tall ceilings, stone around you. It looks like there's an entryway or an exit on the other side. Large iron burial urns are positioned reverently throughout this hall, each engraved with the noble coats of arms from the city of Elturel. Polished swords, lances, and shields hang from racks on the wall. So you get the idea that, your first instinct is this isn't chaotic or anything like that. There's no, you've seen weapons from devils or whatnot, and these are, humanoid night weapons from Order of the Gauntlet and things like that. You see fists and you see, the eye of, you see Torm things and stuff like that.
Does it basically look like an armory?
It looks like, so you see the urns.
Right.
You see these big funerary urns. And then the weapons basically neatly racked on the side and coats of arms on the urns.
Well,
so you've heard of Harmon's Hill, right? Well, you guys haven't. You know what I mean? There's a
we drove by it.
It's a totally different scenario to that one. But yeah, you guys don't know. So this is the first, graveyard you guys went to. Man, they treat paladins pretty damn well in the Avernus.
Like to be.
I'm just gonna tell these guys. So we're looking for Alanthius. Is that the right name there, Tim?
Yep.
Yeah.
Atlantis. Yep.
Atlantis. I don't know where the hell he'd be in here, but this thing's been closed up for freaking ever. So be on your toes, if you will. Do we want to continue through here, or turn back, or go back the other direction?
Let's go ahead and obviously deal with place with reverence, since all these are fallen paladins, and we'll go ahead and leave them be. But see if we recognize any. I don't know. Been in Elseworld for a while. Recognize any of the names on the urns, or if there's any. I guess. What am I trying to get at here? Let me see if I recognize any names.
Okay.
Just because. Remember, I got 6.
But you can read. Yeah, you can read like one, and Connor, I'm gonna do this poll. One says Mananan. We're reading a book called Waylander, or he's teaching me something, but Mananan is one of the guys in there. So you see one that says Mananan. Like you don't recognize his name, various other, Galizade, you're just kind of staring at these things, but you're trying to, you could hang out. So you could hang out there for longer. You guys are moving with relative stealth. If you wanted to study longer and keep your presence lower, I would say that your passive perception knows that there was a bit of a gust when the doors opened. Yep. And it stays open. Yep.
Okay. Well, for the party, I don't know where we want to go, but I'm gonna give a silent for glory to all the paladins' urns, and before we move on.
Like for Zesus.
Ah, cool. If the characters say anything respectful over the urns, congratulations. All right. Well, shoot. I mean, awesome. All right. How many urns are in there? Just the one? You can place these two guys in the center of the room. So as you say something, the knights that are in there, the Erms, I think I said Galavoid and Mananan. We'll say Road, but
Road and Boat.
Road and Boat. You see this visage, and it's not like, don't think, the Lord of the Rings, those knights that were the ghosts or whatever. These guys look pretty clean, but they're definitely ghosts in full plate mail. Solemnly rise from their urns, and they were like, "Your gracious words, we're very grateful." And they stand there. What brings a paladin to this unholy place?
We're looking for Alanthius.
We're here trying to convene with Atlantis to that's what we're here to convene with Atlantis.
You have come to the right place, for Atlantis governs the Hellrider's Crypt. One of Zariel's generals, he decided to kill himself rather than embrace the tyranny that Zariel raised. Zariel then raised him as a Death Knight for betraying her. To ensure his loyalty, she makes sure that he governs this crypt for all eternity and shit. to paraphrase.
You sound as well spoken as me.
Well, yeah. They don't send us to Oxford in ghost school, so I'm still a dude.
Where
Thanks for telling us.
Where could we find him in here?
They're still there, very solemn, looking at you,
Like, do you need help finding rest? Are you good? What,
Our souls are cursed to remain here. They yearn for the afterlife. But the oath that we swore to Zariel binds us to our service, or to her service. But you can help us rest. Please help us rest.
Well, then obviously I'm going to ask, what can I do to affect that? What do I need to do to get you your everlasting rest?
The one with this, great helm in a plume that you can see kind of flowing over his head. The one that had the M on his urn. If we knew, we would have told you immediately. But we do know that the secret lies here. It's like, beware of these crypts. They're governed. We don't know by who. But we're held inside, like, this chamber. He basically, anecdotally says that, like, he's kind of stuck in this area, yeah. Unless Elanthius calls upon him.
And where could we find Elanthius?
He's like, I don't know. Elanthius usually only comes to this crypt if someone disturbs it.
Oh, we kind of did that.
Yeah.
I mean, in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like if you vandalize it, or if he brings in another knight that he finds. So if one of the Hellriders perishes in Alterel that was in service to Zariel, he will bring them to the Avernus. We fought and died alongside the angel Zariel when she waged wars in the Avernus. Zariel's crusade ended in a failure. Most of the generals, including the angel herself, fell to evil and transformed into fiends. Which one's that guy?
Would Zesus have ended up here? In his death?
Yes. The brother Zesus. And he points in the opposite direction.
We should probably go thank Zesus for his sacrifice.
Aw. Sorry, Mags. Your death just became canon.
He was.
Roll a new character sheet, dog. You did take 6 billion lava damage, though.
Lava does hurt.
It does, indeed.
It hurts Connor, too.
I'll give him the old, we won't rest until we get you your rest. And thank you. And we'll want to head the other direction to pay respects. No, maybe no. Let's say we're going the other way.
Okay.
So
head back.
Excuse me.
Okay. If you see something that looks like it needs to be stood up or lit, feel free. You're heading in the other direction.
Yep.
As you move down, you see that your, the flashlight effect of your sun sword, it spreads down the hallway. Make sure I don't go into landscape. And then you can, let's switch some of this on for movie magic. Thank you, Dwarven Forge, and the many other. You do see an urn at the top of this thing.
Those flames look cool.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Etsy. Same thing, you see, assume that's not like a claw. Assume that's, very, very cool looking funerary location. And you can see that urn, and you can see beyond it an L-shaped hallway.
And it's lit?
This one lights as you walk in.
Is it lit? Or, it is lit?
The urn is not, but 2 braziers slowly come to a calming fire. It doesn't look necrotic and blue. It's just a flame on either sides of what look like a stair step up to an urn.
But just our presence walking into the room causes it to light.
Yep.
Interesting. Yep. I'll do a quick perception check.
Detect magic. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just doing a quick perception check. 22. anything
so you
as I
come
poke
up
my head in
in
the room.
as he's kind of poking the sun sword in the room. You see various frescoes of a battlefield here, but looks kind of like a journey towards just fighting evil in general.
I'll take a look at the urn as well.
There's words written up, you know what I mean, like on the walls or whatever.
I'll investigate the urn.
Okay.
A 10.
A 10. So you walk up and you can you read yet, Manu? That's why. You're like walking up and you're just like, yes. Words. This one's got words. Crush that perception check. Crushed it.
Barrett, I see words.
I shall take a glance at it and see if we can find his fallen friend. Jesus.
Nah, it's okay. You already went down that hall. Screw it. It took me 80 years. 13. You read the words, Perrine. Fallen in a quest for goodness, an honorary Hellrider.
Been a while. I didn't know he died.
Oh yeah. He ate it in Waterdeep right before Strahd. Yeah. Vampires. Yeah.
Poor Perrine. I put my hand on Mirren's shoulder. I remember Perrine. That's all I say.
Yeah. He did level 3 or something. You know what I mean? But as you say that, you know what I mean, like as you say, words for him, another ghost, you see Perrine, and he looks at you. He's like, "Dear sweet friends, have you come to let us rest?" Nah.
Nah.
I mean-
But it is now part of our quest.
Tight. Yeah. I thought being a Hellrider when I passed to death would have been awesome. Apparently, this is not awesome.
Okay, so there's only one urn here. So
Yep, just the one. Yep.
you got to keep going to find your friend, but Perrine will get you some rest.
He just stands there, not like catatonic, but when you're not talking to him directly, he just kind of sits there and sits motionless next to his urn. If like a hologram popped up, you know what I mean, and gave like the hello, my name's Perrine. I died in Waterdeep. And then when you leave, hello, I'm Perrine. I died in Waterdeep.
We'll be back, Perrine.
None of this seems too hostile. It seems rather, that's inviting. If you can get away with the dead ghosts of paladins. So, to effect call, we'll continue to go down the hallway down to the left and see if we can.
Yep, you see the light hit that L shape, and it snakes around the corner as you begin your trek down a very long, I think it's a long hallway. You can see where it branches off to the left, and then an L shapes probably 60-some feet down in front of you, where you see another urn on what looks like not like a dais. I guess a raised dais. Does a dais have to be in the center of a room? I always think a dais isn't center fed, but it's a dais against a wall. Am I even pronouncing that word? I read it, so I don't know how to pronounce it. Like, it's not bagration. It's not general bagration. It's bagration. But anyways, I didn't know that until someone read it to me.
All right, does this one kick on flames as soon as we walk in as well?
What's that?
Does
It depends. Is there a... I'll move the camera around for the rest of the guys on Zoom. Just look, yeah. Yep, so it's got like a... You in the room yet? There you go. There you go. Same thing. It's another funerary urn with the same lances and swords. In this case, there's like a smaller urn for like a companion that was with this knight.
Does the brazier light when we walk in, or is that?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So knowing that,
I only have so many braziers.
No.
You guys went
It's
down
cool.
that when we had more funding. You know what I mean? And then as the project continued, there were budget cuts, and the braziers become like real low quality.
I will read this urn as well, see if we can find his friend. Just 17.
It's like night number 3 from, you know what I mean, wherever, and the urn kind of just sits there, and you get the idea if you say something, a knight will pop out. You know, like NPC 4 in the credits.
Red shirt.
Out.
Red shirt number 5.
Definitely Sir David of Devonia.
I also remember
all my NPCs were Dave for like a whole year because I was so bad. Connor told me, or Pete told me, to list 25 names of people, which actually I do have a list of names. Thank you, Dungeon Master Screen.
And they all say Dave, right?
Yeah, but it's all like infernal names, like Hecka-Clockatog, you know, like that's not his name.
Bob 1,
Bob 1,
Bob 2,
Bob 2,
Bob 3.
Bob 3. Works.
99 devil names. Yeah.
Okay. Well, to not disturb his rest further, I'm not going to be saying anything.
Not gonna turn him on.
We're going to let him rest to get him more rest.
Yeah. It's bad sleep. You know what I mean? It's like his eyes are closed, but he's not sleeping at all the whole night. He just wakes up with fuzzy teeth. Is that just me?
Yeah.
Like if I get sleepy, I get like fuzzy. I just feel like weird.
Is that a hallway down at the bottom of?
Yes.
Yeah, so it continues straight on. So like this is a hallway that opens up into a room that continues past into another L shape. That room opens up. So it's got like 3 exits. The one you came through, one to your left and one to your front.
I'm gonna go true sight 100 as far as I can. I can see 120 feet in the
describe
dark.
true sight for me real quick. I don't have that up.
It is. I can see in normal and magical darkness. I can see invisible creatures, objects, automatically detect visual illusions and succeed on saving throws against them, and perceive the original form of the shape changer. Furthermore, yeah. So I can see in normal darkness.
Okay. Hallway L shape.
And nothing interesting.
Yeah, there's no ghosts. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing in that hallway or anything that's an illusion.
And then I'll go ahead and look down the other exit as well.
Okay, if you can lift that little piece of paper, you see what looks like a room with outcroppings. As the sun sword's pretty bright, when you look down there, you see what looks like. You remember when you were in Strahd, those places where the caskets, the sarcophagus, and caskets. There's like rows of caskets here, but it seems open, and you can see what look like the feet of a knight on top of a like a raised casket. You know, like, you know, every Templar church or something like that, it's got like the dude and he's laying in with the sword and the chainmail stuff. So you see the feet of what look like at least one. I don't know. I can't see from here, but at least one. I'll fix the camera.
Oh, let's see if.
Hey, Kygon, is there something that you want to see, or Mario? Just tell me to adjust the camera or zoom in or whatever.
It's good so far.
considering the rest have been earned, and this one actually has his own. Yes. What is this sarcophagus? Yeah. Casket. We'll go casket on this one. Let's see if can identify the theme of this palette, or maybe he's Atlantis in the middle of the room and we have solved it.
Trying to pin this picture. Oh, there we go. We'll do it like this. How's that? Okay, yeah, so this is the only good sarcophagus that I have. But you see right there, you're reading it?
Yeah.
Okay. You get that it's written in, I believe, in like in a language you don't necessarily understand. Do you speak Celestial?
Nope.
Yeah, so it's written in something different. It's got a rose on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know who this is. In fact, I know.
Like a rose. Like you see a rose laying on top of it, like it had just been picked.
Well, I'm not one disturbing the grave, so I can't read. Does anybody speak whatever this is? You want to take a look at it?
No.
I can't read.
Oh, let me see.
Is Celestial similar to Aquan?
Yeah, recesses in the wall hold iron burial caskets. Each casket has a single rose, single healthy red rose resting on its lid. And it looks about, so there's one there, but you can just assume there's like 4 or 5 of these stone caskets.
Can't read it, and well, it seems definitely roses from experience wilt at a extraordinary rate. So I would say today or the past day, someone has been here. Maybe we can find whoever left them and continue down the hallway. Since I can't read.
Okay.
Anymore.
Yep. So another room reveals to yourself a larger room with 3 urns, several lances against the wall. There's actually one spot where like there's a horse that has been laid to rest inside some sort of casket, like against the wall, where it's like you can tell where there's I guess the urn was set behind the stone. And you could tell like there's a brave horse named, Super Dave. And there's that's definitely not my Witcher medallion, you know what I mean? At the bottom, but it's adds to the, ambiance of this room. Looks like 3, higher level knights of the Hellriders. Go ahead and just, you can open it up. Just definitely don't look in there.
I'll work that one right.
That's fine. I trust you.
I don't know what that is. Okay, so we've walked in. Now, I'll do a perception to see if that is.
So it breaks off to the left. What's that?
So walking in the room, obviously that is engraved on the floor.
Yeah, but it's it's engraved, or it's
It's not like an altar of sorts that.
No.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna, as we look the room, actually avoid stepping on that, because stepping on stuff usually goes wrong.
You hear a stone ball from behind you chase you down the hall. Okay.
Okay, so we walk in and see the altars as well. Knowing that we're looking for Atlantis and Theseus, I will see if these names are written in a language that I can perceive. Hopefully.
Nothing. Okay, so what'd you roll?
13. To read the other on the wrong. See if we can find Atlantis or Theseus as we prove.
So it's Boris and Valan and other names that they're not fully tracking.
And what's in the other corners?
Oh, did I adjust the camera? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, well, what's in the other? So there's the two urns in the far corners. What's in
a bunch of like weapons,
okay,
and lances, and
gotcha.
axes that are like crossed and things like that.
Not one to loot a fellow paladin, so I will continue unless anyone had any thing catch their eye in here that they wanted to do. Down the hallway or left. Actually, continue.
It just my line of thinking is we're here to. The only thing that we know at this point is we're looking for Atlantis to tell us where the Bleeding Citadel is. So as soon as we find Atlantis, the rest of this stuff is, unless we find Zeus, something of Zeus in here, everything else is kind of a non-issue. Which goes against everything that I'm thinking as for dungeoneering. But I mean, in reality, we don't have any real reason to search this stuff, especially with a paladin in here. We're not going to desecrate anything.
They would.
Just start busting up everything.
Yeah, I mean, if they were bad caskets, we would. You know what I mean? If they were like, I'm a DM. My bad. As a paladin. Okay, so you're moving. Yep, same thing, but you see a very ornate door, much like what you saw, an archway, much like you saw coming in, but the door is open, and there is a greenish hue coming from that room, like a light.
Nope. Having the rest of these been fairly uneventful, I'll continue to walk into the archway of that place. I've got this green light coming.
As soon as you roll light into this room, you see 6 slow heads sitting over top of what look like sacrificial tables, working on other bodies that are wrapped in cloth. Look over you. It's a very gruesome scene with one of them's got entrails getting ready to put in a jar. An iron urn heaped with human bones squats in an alcove at one end of this hall. On the wall nearby, a carved relief shows a column of mounted knights charging through a portal into a fiery hellscape. What you see before you guys is a long ritualistic chamber where it appears you guys have been to what's it called? This wasn't Dionysus' temple. But you see just a ton of mummies inside this room, where you guys can go ahead and roll initiative as they see you at the same time, and let me set this sucker up. You do see that the room has at least 2 exits in it.
Why are they aggressive? We're just walking in.
You'll have to investigate that later. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this. Let me know if it breaks landscape or whatever.
You're good so far.
All right, cool. You see the room and you guys on the outside? All right, so they basically just slowly do mummy stuff. Mummy. And this one's rolling on the ground, or rolling on the table as one of them's working on it. But you eventually see these 8 mummies start turning and filing towards you.
Oh, the mummies are doing that.
Yeah.
I thought it was the people working on them.
And party number 2 will be up post combat. Just to give you guys a heads up. So go ahead and roll initiative, 25 to 20. Ooh, nice.